Do you think anybody's there?
No. Look, you guys, 0.
Oh, is that where the eyeballs are that says it's watching?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. There's 0 people watching right now. 0. Oh, I know somebody that's watching.
Oh, now you have 6.
Yeah, 7, because we're going to count him who doesn't have a name.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Manfred. What's a typical guy name in Portugal? You got something on your eye.
Typical name? Well,
Yeah.
Maybe.
Hugo?
No, it's not typical.
Philip?
Maybe.
Juan?
Pedro. Pedro. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe
He's Peter.
Maybe it's Pedro. Yeah. Okay,
Hey.
you guys, that's enough. You don't need to be in the show today. Yeah. Howdy, everybody. Coming in from, there's Deanna, and there's Patsy, and Mama, and Jean, and Sherry, and Jean Ann, and Deanna. Howdy, y'all. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. We want to talk. What have you got over there?
I don't know his name.
Oh, another one. Another name.
He will appear slowly.
Well, here he comes. And it is not even Halloween yet.
I'll say hi.
Yep, say hi. He'll come.
Yeah, it's like say hi.
So, everybody, yes, we have skeletons in the closet. Mm-hmm. That's literally where they live. And we have brought, high five, we have brought the skeletons out of the closet. It says they don't feed me. I don't know who they are, but
me neither.
Yeah, because there's a lot of food in this house. If somebody wants to eat, there's plenty of food, right? So today we want to talk a little bit about our trip we took to Santa Fe and Grand Canyon.
The stones are what?
Oh, the Monument Valley?
No.
Oh, the Petrified Forest National Monument. We went there, and also to the Monument Valley and Mesa Verde and all that. But today we're going to talk about photography, because all of that's kind of what's going on in my world. Central New York, hello from Michigan, hello from Oregon. Australia, that's awesome. So we're glad to have you all here today. And we're just going to watch and chat and say hi. But one of the things that is happening in my world, 2 things that are photography-wise. And one of them is my upcoming smartphone photography crash course. It's 10 days, and it's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to learn a lot. And I know that some people get scared that they think, oh my God, how will I ever have the time? You don't have to watch live. Number one, it's not live, not like this at all. There's videos that are posted every day, and you watch them at your own convenience. And if you sign up for the course and you really just can't do it on those 10 days, those are always there for you, so you could do them on your own. I will, of course, kind of comment and talk us through every day some of the things that have transpired. But for the most part, you could sign up for that class and do it in 10 days. You need maybe an hour a day. The videos could be anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, maybe 20 at the most. And then you just want to get your camera phone and get out and take a picture. And you don't have to drive to the beach, or you don't have to go up to the top of the mountains. You don't have to do anything like that. Most everything you can do at home, or out in your backyard or front yard, or in the alley, or down at the park, or at the grocery store. Photography is one of those things that I have come to love immensely, because it is something that I can do to be creative anywhere, anytime, and I can actually create in an instant. You know, I'm a quilter, so if I'm going to make a quilt, it's not going to happen in literally in a millisecond. It's going to take some time. So I've been able to kind of grow my composition skills and learn how to see as an artist through photography. So I would encourage you to think. Now we're gonna show you all that later, and if you can't watch right now, go look at my page and find some posts because there's the link, or come back and watch this a little bit later. But we wanna just do photography with you today. And do I really see Martha Pullen? Howdy doody, Miss Martha. It's great to see you. That's my mother, Martha, there. I'm glad that you're watching today. It's hard for me to see
Hi, Carol.
and there's Carol. Oh my gosh, great to see you. And Lou and Jean and oh my gosh, East Coast of Canada. Yay, thank you for joining us today. So here's the thing, you guys. Hugo's going to try to monitor questions. So I know that we've got a lot of hellos and I'm from here and it's great to see you from there. But in the event that you have a question, pop it in there. We're going to be trying to pay attention with all that.
Ciao, Daniela.
So you say
Come
more.
stai?
Yeah, see, he knows more than I do. It's great to have you, Daniela. So Hugo, so let's talk a little about your brother coming and where we actually went. We went down to Santa Fe.
Yeah. So we started in Taos.
Oh yeah, Taos. We did.
Taos. Mm-hmm. And then we went to Santa Fe for 2 days. We did a lot of galleries.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. Amazing artists.
We met our friends Brett and Melissa down there.
Yeah.
And we went down Canyon Road, and there are some galleries in and around the plaza and Canyon Road that are unbelievable.
I never went to a place that they had so many galleries, so different kind of artists, because you can find different ones.
Yeah.
It's painters, there's quilters there too, but we didn't see so many quilters.
Didn't see as many quilters, but there's also a quilt shop in Taos.
Yeah.
And
at that, the 2 days that we were there, there was the outside, there's a lot of photography there, and there were a lot of...
Oh, there's a little outdoor fair,
yeah.
A little art fair outside. Yeah. So it's a little bit for everybody. If you're on a budget, you can get art on a budget, but also if you got deep pockets, there's plenty of expensive art to buy in Santa Fe.
Yeah.
So let's do some pictures. I hope this works. I've never quite done this before. You guys, we're learning. We're experimenting a little bit. I'm going to go to screen share, and you can tell me on the phone if it's working here, Hugo. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to go to this first photo and play, and hopefully we see, yeah. So that works out pretty good, doesn't it? It moves us down to the bottom, and there's the screen. So do you want to tell everybody about that?
About
the picture.
Oh, I thought
we're at the Grand Canyon, and you haven't brushed your teeth yet, or something.
So the thing is, I loved Grand Canyon. This was the morning.
Yeah, the morning after we arrived in the evening, which was glorious.
Yeah.
It had been cloudy all day. We thought it was just going to be gray and cloudy, but the sun ended up going down below the clouds, and we got some gorgeous pictures. But this is the next morning.
Yeah, and I had breakfast. We had breakfast, and I had something stuck, and I didn't have anything to help me, but I had my toothbrush.
So he's walking around the rim of the Grand Canyon with his toothbrush.
And people were laughing.
They were. So, and that's Hugo's brother Fabio. If you didn't meet Fabio earlier, that's Fabio. And then I don't know who the third person is in that picture.
I think it was a lady.
This one? With the white beard, that's a lady? I hope not. All right, so Hugo, tell us about this picture.
So this picture was in Santa Fe. We were top roof in a restaurant. I don't remember.
It's the Coyote Bar.
Bar. So there was a glorious light, sunset,
We couldn't see the sunset from where we
No,
were.
but because the buildings, the Adobe buildings there, and reflection of the sun, it's like something was burning. And I saw this reflection on the window, and there's a kind of cactus
Yeah.
there, and I took with my smartphone,
Yeah, it was
my
glorious.
iPhone.
This is right off the terrace of that bar. And I want to chime in with a story because right before this, there
You
was
took,
this couple.
yeah,
There were actually four people at a table, and this couple was on one side and another couple on the other. They were, I don't know, they were a little older than me perhaps, but they were having an evening out. And I went over and said to the lady, I said, ma'am, I said, you guys look amazing up against all of this color. And it was color everywhere, but also the light that Hugo was showing here was also in the background. And I says, please let me take your picture. If you'll just give me your phone,
Yeah.
I will take a picture that you will treasure forever. And it was beautiful. So sometimes it's just a matter of having the nerve to get up and go talk to complete strangers. Because even though I didn't get to know them, I did it on their phone. Just had them open up their phone, show me the camera app, and I took their picture. And they, when I went back and sat down, they were all just going on looking
Yeah.
at the picture and passing it around. They were really pleased.
And one of my goals, well, there's maybe a problem with the sound.
It's weird. Your voices keep changing, gets real deep and slows up. You sound processed. Well, I'm sorry for that, Carol. Oh my gosh, thank you for telling us because I don't know what's causing that.
I'm gonna warm my voice.
All right. La 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 la. I'm gonna go to the next picture. Is that okay?
Okay. So, but I'm gonna tell something. Since I start the photo class, and you teach me techniques, and I have more high to stop somewhere. Like this picture, I stopped some there, and I saw these beautiful horses, and the landscape, the light. And I was trying to feed them, and then I remind, oh, maybe there's snakes there, and I stopped. So I stopped there. Yeah.
So somebody said we sound normal on the tablet, so it could be a Wi-Fi connection somewhere else. Carol, I don't
Hugo,
know.
can you speak a little
Yeah,
louder?
you speak very softly. You speak very softly.
Well, I don't want to fright people.
He speaks loud when he's around me, but then he starts talking to you guys and he gets real quiet. That's a good suggestion. Thank you. But yeah, so that is another thing. Hugo is he like stops. This is on our, no, and it's like 20 minutes from our house, but it's on the way to town. Yeah. And he stopped and got this amazing picture. Just, because Carpe Diem is one of the things I talk about right now. Right now is the time. You won't get this opportunity again. And the best camera in the whole world is the camera that you have with you. Okay? So if it's a smartphone, it's the smartphone. So let's talk about this. Oh my God, this day.
Oh my gosh. I think this is one of my best pictures because, first of all, it was in the morning. To have a rainbow in the morning is very rare.
Mm-hmm.
The temperature was kind of cool but warm at the same time. And I remember when I woke up because I remember Ty was here, his nephew, with Jonelle, and they were outside. I was waking, and what they are doing, and then everybody with the camera, and then I looked, and I have double rainbow.
Mm-hmm. Right off the terrace. We're standing on the terrace.
6:30 in the morning, and I was like, wow. Crazy.
Double rainbow and right centered over the back terrace. It was crazy.
Yeah, and Autumn Rock, you can see Autumn Rock is in the center.
Yeah, so you have to look back in the distance just up below those glowing hills, but that's our little Autumn Rock that's out there.
And I want to print this picture.
Cool. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. It was a beautiful moment, and I'm glad we got to have a lot of people here to watch it, to see it that day. That was great. Let's see what this one is. Oh yeah, tell us about that.
So we were 1 week ago. We were looking for the aspects, the color changing, and we stopped a lot of times. and one of the points that I like it's the river, and so um, it's it's time lapse.
Yeah, it's
No,
long exposure.
yeah,
It's long
long
exposure.
exposure.
But it's long exposure on his iPhone.
Oh, iPhone.
Okay? Yeah. So if you don't know that technique, that's one of them that I will be teaching in the class that's
And
coming up.
the thing is, long exposure. If you take a the picture was more long, like bigger, and long exposure a short the picture,
Mm-hmm.
and the effect of the water because I think the water for a long exposure is really good,
Yeah.
and I really liked the composition of the picture.
Well, it is fabulous, and I will tell you, if you can take anytime you've got streams or rivers or with moving white water, a long exposure is a great thing to be able to do, and our phones do it really, really
Yeah.
well, really easily.
Peggy, even yeah, I probably will send to my family. By the way, did you send Fabio the picture
I
that you wanted?
haven't found that picture yet.
Oh, because my brother want a picture that Ricky took from a church.
Yeah,
With the
right. Yeah, and I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
But today, when I was going through the images for this, I found it online, so I'll be able to
okay.
get it to him. All right, so
Oh my gosh. You know, I like black and white. I think that's my thing. I like because there's more than color. I think black and white for me this was. So I went with my brother. We went to ride and Melissa ride with the horses. And this horse is from um, uh, Andalusia horse. It's from the south of Spain, and he was like sick, so he was isolated. And when we were um, riding horses, he was like talking, like I want to go to because he was really like a competition horse,
okay.
very athletic, beautiful.
But he was isolated from the others because
Yeah.
he wasn't well.
And
I wasn't there.
I had a connection with the horse. Like he was always trying to come follow me when I was walking by, and when I took his picture, this was color, of course, and I changed with iPhone. I think it make me sad, but beautiful at the same time, because I know what happened with the horse. He was sick, and I just want to have more intensity.
Right. So you got up close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really intimate in the
You
photo.
don't need to have whole head, whole body. If you kept just one purpose, that what your goal, what you wanna show to people. I wanna show just the eye, and I don't wanna show his mouth. I just you can see the veins.
Yeah, the veins. Yeah.
And I think that's more important.
So cool. I love it. All right, so this is one of my favorites.
So this I took from
The museum.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's a story there. We were in the photo summit 2 weeks ago, and this challenge was all painting.
Old paint.
All paint. Yeah. So when we left from the
Theater.
yeah, I saw this old car and I said, maybe I'll try to go inside if nobody's seen. But then the lady from the museum saw me and said, "Oh, do you want me to show you a old car?" And I said, "A old car? Yeah." He arrived like
really 1938
Yeah.
or 1939 car.
he arrived 2 days ago that day, and I said, yeah. And then I saw this because Walsenburg, the village next to La Vida, they had a cream factory, and this is a bucket from the butter.
Yeah, so butter churning bucket. Yeah.
And I saw this color and the texture, and I said, this is gonna be all paint.
So here's the thing I'm taking away, and what I hope everybody will understand is that one of the things that my goal as a teacher is to teach you to see differently. see something, but not just see it and appreciate it, but then you have to solve the problems of taking the picture that have the big impact.
Yep.
And I think this one turned out with a really big impact. I really like it a lot. So that was fun. That was from Photo Summit a couple of weeks ago. And this is the Grand Canyon, you guys. I've got the smartphone photography banner down there with the website. You can go find the class that's coming up for the crash course, which is 10 days. But also I have now already starting to register for my 2023 52-week challenge. It's a year-long class, and it has been wonderful for the last 8 years. So I'm just letting you know that's starting now, so you can start spreading the news. But this is the Grand Canyon panorama iPhone.
This is my picture I took.
Yeah. So I mean that doesn't even need a lot of explanation. Amazing photo.
Yeah.
Done in camera with the panoramic feature. And then there's some edits, there's some slight edits. You can always edit. If you do too much editing, everybody, it just takes it away from feeling good.
Yeah.
And you want it to feel like the memory, you want it to feel kind of like it looked. And anything that you can do to kind of bring that emotion to the viewer, sometimes that's the editing, but you have to do it just right along the way. Is that not gorgeous? That is amazing.
And I remember when we were there, Ricky is trying to do a time lapse.
Yeah, I was doing a whole time lapse of the clouds moving in the sun from this to going completely away. Yeah.
And me and my brother were all just walking and take other picture from different angles. But remember this squirrel?
Yeah, the squirrel.
Yeah, I was first of all, I was taking a picture, and my brother was, Hugo, oh my gosh, you must see this. I said, Fabio, just wait, I need to take this picture. And I took the picture, and he went, oh my gosh, Hugo, come. And I turned around, and it was a squirrel.
Yeah, I mean, at his feet, at both of their feet, with them, interacting with them.
And he tried to hold my camera.
Yeah, he put the camera down to take a picture really low, and literally he took his hands and took the lens in his hands. The squirrel did, and we didn't get the picture of his face. But
well, I think I just had like this.
It was awesome. It was great. All right, let's see what's next. Oh yeah, so portraits, people in portraits. So I always talk about if you're going to go to extreme, go to the extreme, because if you do just a little bit, it's okay. When you do halfway, it's like, well, did they mean that or they didn't? There are so many amazing filters out there, apps that we can use, and I used a really strong filter on this one. This was taken in Santa Fe while we were there. This was actually standing up against the wall of the oldest house maybe in America. I mean, it was the oldest house.
Yeah.
Anyways, it goes all the way back to some crazy number, 1500s or something like that, way back. And anyway, this was also at night. It was dark. This was done with a street lamp light, and so that was a fun picture. I enjoyed taking it. I like the very. He doesn't need a smile here. It just needs to be very expressionless, but deep and powerful. And sometimes I think we all smile for the camera, and I just don't think that we have to all the time. And so this is kind of crazy. One of the things that I love personally, now this is a big me thing, I love mood, emotion, impression, mystical, dreamlike, impressionism, and minimalism. So, but this is more like a dream, an intentional camera movement. You can accomplish this even in your smartphones. So we talked a little bit about the long exposures. This is not a long exposure. This is intentional camera movement at a time of day where I was able to get this, and then just a little bit of processing to create this wonderful kind of almost like fireworks, but it's like waking up in a dream, a memory, rather than I tried to make a perfect sharp photo, which is great, and we want to try to do that too whenever it's appropriate. But this is kind of the fun stuff that I love to teach, and will be part of our crash course that's coming up in November. And then also there's ways that we'll use our big cameras for next year whenever we do the 52-week challenge.
Charlene.
Yeah, Charlene says it is a once-in-a-lifetime photo. She's talking about that double rainbow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a once-in-a-lifetime photo. And
you can ask something. You can ask.
Yeah, you can ask questions, you guys. If you've got any questions or comments, we are trying to monitor the questions as they come in. So please feel free to ask questions, even if it's like a question about the class, how does it work, or anything like that. If you missed that, I'll happily answer. This is iPhone. This is long exposure, just like what Hugo did with the water, but he was driving, and this was shot out the front window of the truck driving down the road. And I love this effect because all of this kind of dreamlike mystery pushes us into the road and around the bend, and we get those few trees that are more kind of in focused than the rest. And so a lot of people don't know that you can accomplish this kind of thing, but it is really not hard to do. So and you know what? Even if you're watching this right now and this isn't like for you, you might have a son or a daughter or a grandson or granddaughter or, you know.
Remember the young girl that was doing this?
Like 15 years old. Yeah.
Yeah, 16.
But doing it's great. So something that you can think about. And the reason I did the crash course in 10 days is because it used to be 10 weeks, and I've also done it in 5 weeks. But I wanted to get this done before the end of the year because I will generally have a 52-week challenge just for smartphone people. It's not classes, it's just a weekly challenge. And I only let people who have been in my classes into that challenge group because they need to know the techniques and the things that I've already taught. So it is a 10-day class. It'll be very easy for you to do. And I've got the website right there on the screen, so you can pop over there to do that. This is iPhone on a beautiful, simple day. I love the colors of this. And this is done in a filter that really has numerous ways to create sort of an oil painting look with that filter. And I love it. And as a matter of fact, I have thought numerous times that I'm going to end up printing one of these on fabric and like a nice big piece of fabric. And you can do that. There's places to do that online, but then just stitch it as a quilt. So especially when it looks like a painting instead of a photograph, and there are other apps that can make it even crazier than this, that might even make it look like it's more patchwork. So this is a great opportunity to use some of these filters and even turn them into fabric and fiber art. So I really, really love this. This is actually the sidewalk in La Vita right outside my building, leaving work one day. This is the beautiful area where we live. This is right near La Vita, Colorado. A certain time of day. Time of day is something I always talk about because there are times of day when photography is kind of flat, bland, and boring, but the time of day can really make a difference. And the colors change so much at certain times. So this reminds me of home, and I will always cherish this particular picture. It's really, 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 really one of my best. I love that one. And was taken on a smartphone, by the way. So I made this one a little bit crazy, but this is that magical staircase, that mystical staircase at the Loretto Chapel there in Santa Fe. We may be covering up a little bit of it, but you get the idea. Of course, it doesn't look exactly like that, but it looks enough like that whenever you put the kind of stained glass coloring on it, it makes it kind of fun. So I love to play, I love to experiment, and we're going to cover a lot of stuff like that. Now, this photo, this is one of my favorite photos. We just arrived at the parking lot of the Monument Valley, and it was drizzly. There was rain. It wasn't rain, but it was enough rain that you wanted to get inside.
Yeah.
Right? But Hugo and his brother went off to the right from where this is. So I don't know that they even saw this, but when I walked near to look over the valley, I saw these two boulders right by the parking lot, and I really feel like almost all the photos I see of Monument Valley are this vast, wonderful monuments. And in this case, I really wanted to highlight those two boulders that were just literally, I could walk over and touch them. And this is edited, and not just a little bit, more than you might think. So it has a cross between, wow, that's real, and wow, that's a painting. And I love the colors. Another thing I loved about this day, you guys, is that it was cloudy, it was raining, and that would be a real deterrent for a lot of people.
Yeah,
but I'm telling you,
it's gorgeous.
weather makes a huge difference. If you don't have weather, if you don't have fog or snow or rain or mist or clouds, things just kind of get eh. And this day was glorious.
So this was my second time in Monumental. Like the first time I went and I slept there, and I remember the sky was beautiful, but I think with the clouds, there's some charming.
It was.
And there's many ways to appreciate the landscape with the weather.
Yeah. In this case, because there wasn't sun, we didn't have any harsh shadows either. So everything was really beautiful and soft, and because it was wet, the colors were richer than they are whenever they're dry. And you can think about that. If you've got a driveway and it's gray, you put water on it, it's a whole different color. Well, that's what happens with rocks and stones and streets and sidewalks and all of that. So I embrace the weather like crazy, and I hope that you will learn to do that too. All right, so now I really do want to just show a few photos from my 2023, well, not from there, but to promote the 2023 Photo Challenge class. This class I've been doing since 2015, so this is going to be my 9th year to teach this. And I hope I will again, I usually have 200 to 250 students from around the world taking this class. And this class covers composition, learning, all of composition, line, shape, value, texture, color, and then all the principles of design, which is balance and proportion and dominance and all of those things.
There's a PDF that you can print and do a book like I am doing, because the first year there's a lot of techniques, and I can assure you, because Ricky is my teacher, but it's like sometimes he's professional. I try to be the student, but sometimes I'm not the best one. But
He's
anyway, just saying, I learned a lot, and I couldn't even imagine how much you can do with the camera. And
it's amazing.
The editing, oh my gosh.
So he's talking about the PDF that's the lesson, but there's a video most weeks. I'm going to say 90% of the weeks there's a video lesson that goes with the PDF. You get the challenge, and so while I'm talking composition, that's only one part. The second part is, how do you use that camera? You bought that wonderful camera, expensive camera, and you keep it on program or point and shoot, and you just click the button and hope for the best. We're going to take it off of point and shoot, and you're going to learn to use that camera. And there's several of you that are in here today that have taken this class, and you know where you've grown over those years because of this. And then last but not least, it's Photoshop and Lightroom. Lightroom is the primary editing space for photography, but if you want to do special things, you go into Photoshop to do those with layers and masks and all kinds of other stuff. So it's nothing that is done, boom, all at once, and that's why it's 52 weeks and it takes the whole year. This class is now posted on the website. It is available now. You can start purchasing for the early bird price, right? And this is the first time I've raised the price just a little bit, not much, for what you get for those first 26 weeks. I've raised the price a little bit for the first time since 2015. So that's just the nature of what we're all having to do with a little bit of inflation, but it's not going to be a problem for you guys.
Peggy asked you, what did you use for the spiral?
For the spiral staircase, I used my iPhone, and I edited it in my iPhone with one of the apps that are in there. And we're going to cover, I don't know how many apps I'm going to cover in this class, but probably a good at least 6 or 7 different apps that allow us to do a lot of fun, amazing things. And each of those apps have dozens, if not hundreds, of options on changing your photos. So it's a wealth of stuff to be able to do. I wanted to share this photo with you because this is probably the first photo I took when I came back from my first photo workshop in New Brunswick, Canada with Freeman Patterson and Andre Gallant. I had the most amazing week learning from these two masters. Freeman is a Canadian national treasure for real. And I came back, and one night or evening, I went over to our skate park in La Vida, and the light was so magical, and this tree was so magical. I was able to do this amazing photograph in almost directly into the sun, and then using the skills that I learned, I was able to bring out the details, and that carpet of golden leaves was just unbelievable. And I want to tell you that while I love this picture beyond measure, there's been at least 2 or 3 years when I've gone in October to the same location to try to recreate this. And trust me, you can't recreate, which is why carpe diem, do it right now. You see it right now. Take the moment to capture whatever it is that you can capture. Now, this photo, it's a landscape, but you can tell it is all about the drama of the clouds. Once again, weather wins. Because if this was a beautiful blue sky, this would not have near the drama that it had. This was in Wyoming. I was coming back from Glacier National Park. There was a storm, stopped on the road, got out, and shot this amazing turbulence of clouds. So another thing that we learned to do is how to really use our camera. You know, the word photography means painting with light. Photo means light. Graph is to draw or paint. So photography means to paint or to draw with light. And so I love the fact, I told you I love impressionism, I love dreams. This is intentional camera movement with a big boy camera, and this makes these reeds just feel like they've just moved in the wind, and they're graceful and lovely. And I can tell you, if I took a straight shot of this particular reeds on the lake, it would not have the emotion and the feeling that it had. So I love talking about this, and this is going to be surprising. I'm going to leave this picture up, and I'm going to let you guys put some comments in on what you think it is. And if you've been in my class before and you know, you have to zip it. Okay? You can't spill the beans. You can say, I know, but I'm anxious for you guys to guess at what this is. And then you go, we can just talk while they try to figure it out. We'll see what kind of responses come from this. You don't even know what it is.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I haven't told Hugo about this photo yet. It's one of my favorites. I really love this photo. We're playing the Jeopardy song now. Da 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 da. Nobody's guessing. Nobody's guessing. Nobody's guessing. They will. Somebody will pop in.
Yeah.
So, what are you going to feed us tonight? Because these guys need some.
Well, there's a whole chicken in the oven.
Now, he didn't say old chicken. He said there's a whole chicken in the oven. What kind of seasonings on it?
Well, I use the herbs from the garden that I frozen.
Speak up. They can't hear you.
I use the herbs that we had from the garden.
Yeah. So we had a lot of herbs,
Mm-hmm.
and then because it's turning into, the garden's looking tired, but we went out and harvested all of those herbs
last week.
and dried them. He then, what'd you do? Blend them? Just crunch them all up?
So for the dry herbs, just I want to be quick. You just dry, like you can.
We put them on the table. You could do it in the oven, but here it's so dry. Just 3 or 4 days, they're crunchy.
And then I let like maybe 4 or 5 days, and then I blend because if there's the sticks, some from the time, it's easily when you blend, all the sticks you come together, and the
they
leaves
just come out.
Just
It's great. So we have fresh herbs in jars oregano, thyme,
Yeah,
rosemary,
and
all of this.
the thing is, we have dry and we have fresh that
Frozen.
are frozen.
So he's got a lot of like basil and things
Yeah.
like that are in the
Basil,
freezer.
rosemary, English thyme, there's Greek oregano, Italian oregano, there's dill, there's sage, there's parsley. Oh my God, there's
Yeah.
a lot.
So and so while you're still guessing about this picture that's on the screen right now, keep your guesses coming.
So just say,
So I just want to tell you guys that not only did Hugo do the fresh herbs, but he also spent half a day rolling out pasta and making his own ravioli, stuffed ravioli.
well, the tough part, it's not cutting or preparing the stuff. It's more when you are rolling and the dough.
Get the dough.
It must be
Really flat.
tiny.
Yeah. We need to find out a dough presser or roller or something to make it easier for him. All right, so you guys, I'm going to read the thing.
So Suzanne,
Let's start at the top here.
Oh.
We have Tammy, and she thinks it's sand dunes. I really love that answer because that's what I see and that's what I intend this to be, but that's not what it is. Good guess, Tammy.
dessert.
Judy says it's a desert.
Desert.
All right, a desert, like the Sahara Desert.
Yeah, like sand dunes.
And that's like the dunes as well. So yes, it feels very desert-like. Rolling hill horizon, good. You're all on the same visual path. Martha Pullen, you must just burst your buttons with pride. I see, that was fabulous. Part of a lampshade. Now that's a good guess, but no, that's not it. Looks like a desert. Yep, it does. I see a sand dune. Yes, you do. It looks like a desert, but I don't think it is. An eyelid. Somebody thinks it's an eyelid, and I can see why you think that, okay? Are you ready for the answer? Let me tell you that this is a 2-exposure photo, all right? It's 2 exposures. My camera was on intentional camera movement, and I think you can see me in the bottom, so I went swoosh to the left. That's one picture. Swoosh to the right just a little bit. So that's click, click. And it made it kind of blend to the left and right. And those 2 images were then blended together for the photo. What I am taking a picture of is the duvet on my bed. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
He seems.
And the golden light you see is the gold light coming from above on my lamp.
Oh.
The blue light that you see is the blue light coming in from the window. So the duvet had gold and blue, and because it had little ripples and waves in it, when I did this, it's what I call unexpected landscapes. And that's something that we do in the 52-week challenge as well. So if you want to learn how to do fun stuff like this, I will be teaching it.
I thought our duvet was dirty. But okay.
No, our duvet.
No,
This
okay,
was a clean duvet.
I'm happy.
Now, I have to say, I did take that picture quite a while ago. So let me see, how do I get out of that? How do I escape from that? I do that maybe? I don't know what I do. How do I get out of this? I don't want to. Oh, camera. There I am. We're back. Like a bad rash. We're back. So anyway, so you guys, I do hope you're my friends. Got a bunch of stuff planned for this fall. Today we wanted to talk about our love for photography and share with you about the smartphone class that's coming up in November for 10 days. And also please spread the word and consider hopping onto this 52-week class. The best part about the 52-week class, and I'm about to tell you something very real. The photography is fabulous. The learning is fabulous. But you make friends with people all over the world because we share our photos week after week. We get to know each other's lives and things that have transpired. And I still have people now for the last 8 years that I've come to know very well, and I've yet to have the privilege to meet face to face. So it is the most unexpected thing. I've had people celebrating their marriages. I've had people that have lost loved ones. We've had babies and grandbabies that have been born. And so life unfolds during all of this. And here's Miss Charlene saying, friends, that is so true. And Charlene, you and John are proof of that, because I love you guys dearly, and it's all, I mean, Charlene's a quilter, but she's become a photographer with her husband, John, and they've been to Colorado here several times. And it's just wonderful to interact with these people week after week after week.
Yeah, I will add Charlene, because I tried to find her on Facebook, but I couldn't.
Now you can find it. Yeah, she can find you. So y'all can. And by the way, if you want to get to be Hugo's friend, you just have to look him up there on Facebook, and we'll do that.
One of the things that, if you want to give some like a present,
yeah, we have gift certificates.
So you can give this to a son or nephew or a friend, and for a Christmas present or a birthday present.
It's divided up. The next year's class, the 52 weeks, is divided up into 3 parts. Part 1 is 26 weeks, and then 13 weeks for part 2, 13 weeks for part 3. That makes it more manageable, because if you decide you can't make it the whole year, then you don't have to pay for the whole year. Yeah. So I've set it up like that for you. I've also think it's a very reasonable price for what I'm doing. This price is very reasonable. It's almost 70% off of the regular price for the early birds. So you do need to look at the schedule and get signed up before the early bird date stops. So I know that's a little bit of a commercial, everybody, but it's the way I'm living these days. Your support is what keeps us going. So I really appreciate you spending time with us today. And Pedro and yet unnamed, I don't know, little guy. We'll call him little man. We'll call him little man.
Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Krueger. All right, you guys, we're going to say goodbye. We hope you've had fun visiting with us today. Anything you want to say?
Just enjoy. Come to a photograph class and make new friends. And, essentially, have fun.
Have fun. Bye.